Howdy, guys, and welcome to Celebrity Big Brother Season 3, and welcome to Cliff Notes from outside the Big Brother house. Night 16. Who would have thought that Chris Kattan obviously was the peacemaker inside the house, because now that he's left, everything's falling apart. We got all kinds of people arguing back and forth. One big fight that took place that we'll talk about. So we did have some action happening a little bit overnight. Most of it was yesterday during the day and in the evenings. But we're going to talk about all of it since we didn't have an episode last night. So first of all, as a little bit of a refresher, if you remember Misha's HOH, she put up Carson and Cynthia. Shayna won veto. What'd she do with it? There's talk about doing different things. Shayna used the veto. Yes, indeed. She used it on Carson, which not a big surprise there, but she used it on Carson. Now, there had been talk earlier that they were going to get Misha to put Todd up, then they'd vote Todd out the door and they'd take control. Nah, none of that worked. They use it on, Shannon uses it on Carson. Misha turns right around. She puts up Chris Kirkpatrick. Yeah, Chris said that he was taking a chance. He potentially was blowing up his game. And sure enough, it's happened. He is now on the block next to Cynthia. Who's going home with those two? Well, we've still got a little time till tonight's eviction ceremony, but it's looking like it could be Chris. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about what happened. We definitely have Shayna, Misha, and Todrick upset. Mad. They're mad at Shayna. Misha, in particular, is mad at Shayna. She's telling after the veto ceremony is over. They're telling Shayna that the battle lines have been drawn. They're voting Shannon out whenever they get the choice, that she could have worked with them. She chose not to. It's obvious where they're at. Shannon's coming back saying, well, you say it's obvious. It's pretty obvious that the two of y'all are tight, considering y'all are talking about final two and jury votes and all that. So, you can be upset with me for doing what I did, but y'all have made it pretty clear that the two of y'all are tight with each other, which is true. But they're upset with Shanna, and so we'll see how that plays out going forwards. Some other conversations. We've got Todrick complaining to Misha that Chris, and notice that now I can just say Chris instead of Chris Kirkpatrick. So Katana, Chris Katana, I hated to see you go. I thought you were not so suited for the game, but it still seems like a nice guy and a funny guy. But with Chris Katana gone, I can just say Chris. So Todrick's complaining to Misha that Chris is conducting a smear campaign against him. Todrick wants Chris gone, and I get it absolutely. Chris wants Todrick gone as well. But Misha is saying, look, I feel like I got roped into this. My hand was forced because the veto was used and all of that. And at first, I'm not certain that Misha is as sold as Todrick on wanting to get Chris out instead of Cynthia. Misha had been trying to work with Chris Kirkpatrick. They were not final two material, but they were certainly close to it. So I think Misha, to some degree, still considers Chris an ally, even though it looks like he's flipped over to the other side. But she's a little less inclined to vote him out as compared to what Todrick wants to do. Now, later, it seems like Todrick got into Misha's head and convinced her otherwise, because Misha seems to be doing a full-blown campaign about why Chris needs to go. So I think that's the way it ends up. We have that. Now, I didn't want to bury the lead, but the biggest thing last night or yesterday, huge fight apparently between Cynthia and Todd. I don't think it was captured on the live feeds. I haven't seen it yet. I went back and looked. I don't think it was captured, but a huge fight between Todd and Cynthia. Apparently, Cynthia is upset that Todd had promised to save Chris. But I think the way it first started, it seems like she just kept approaching him. It sounds like maybe it was in the kitchen. She kept approaching Todd, wanting to campaign to save her, and Todd wouldn't give an answer. And at least according to Todd, she just kept coming back over and over again until finally, I guess he may have said something like, I promised to save Chris. She got all upset. He got very upset apparently as well. I've heard things that he got in her face. People are saying, you don't, you can't get in someone's face like that. And Todd saying, I just wanted to give her a big, F you kind of thing and all that. But they were upset with each other. It all gets down to this. She wants Todd's vote. Todd is still bitter over the very first eviction ceremony where she voted to save Teddy instead of Todd. And he said, hey, you're saying you voted me out or tried to vote me out because of a promise you made to Teddy. Well, I made a promise to Chris that I wasn't going to vote him out. So why are you holding something against me that you did yourself? It's kind of the crux of Todd's argument. Now, here's the thing. Every year I see all these viewers say, why do all these house guests vote with the house? Why don't they vote the way they want? So tired of people just seeing voting with the house and unanimous evictions and all that. This is it. This is why house guests vote with the house, because otherwise something that may have happened a long time ago in the Big Brother season that you think is over, there's still someone out there carrying a grudge. Cynthia didn't vote with the house. She potentially could lose the vote this week because of that. That is why people vote with the house, even though it makes boring viewing and less drama and all that. There's a reason for it, and we're seeing it right here. But no, huge fight. The fight took place. The fight didn't take place on the feeds, as I said, but the aftermath certainly did. Cynthia crying, Todd upset. Todd at one point says that he was acting. I think he told Lamar that a little bit later. Shayna tells someone, I think Cynthia, she said, nah, he's saying it's acting. That wasn't acting. Todd isn't that good an actor. Wow, that's a burn for someone that's an actor, right? But yeah, the aftermath just reverberated throughout the entire rest of the afternoon into the evening itself. It was heated. Again, where's Chris Kattan, the peacekeeper? Maybe that's what we need. A little more cake in the house. Takes care of everything, right? All right, we've got, let's see what else we've got. The huge fight going on. Everyone, it comes down to this. Everyone's fighting for Todd's vote. We only have 8 people left in the house. At HOH and 2 nominees means that there's only 5 votes that are going to be cast this week, which means 3 votes send someone home. That's not a lot of wiggle room for anyone. So everyone is fighting for Todd's vote, and the result, everything's getting heated inside the house. Now, some other conversations. We've got Misha talking to Lamar about a final 4 of Lamar, Todd, Todrick, and herself. It's kind of how she envisions this thing playing out. So we've got that. Throughout the entire evening, Misha just kind of a little bit shut down a little bit. As should be the case, Misha's power is gone. Now that she has made the replacement nominee, she's not voting tonight. So Misha doesn't have a whole lot to contribute from this point. She can't compete for HOH tonight. So she's kind of laying low as Misha can lay. Let's say that. She spends a lot of time in the kitchen or in the main room, dining room, playing solitaire with sunglasses on, with her headphones on, just trying to kind of remove herself from everything that's going on. Not always a bad idea. She's already created enough of a target on herself. It's going to come down tonight to who wins HOH. If the wrong side, i.e. Carson and Cynthia and Shanna, if they win, she and Todd are on the block. It doesn't matter what Misha does at this point, but Misha's just kind of trying to play low with her card games and all. Now, here's a little thing I know. She's wearing her headphones. As HOH, you get music, right? It's the same Big Brother celebrity or regular version. But in the regular version of Big Brother, when you get your headphones, you are not allowed to take the little player, the MP3 player. You aren't allowed to take it out of the HOH room. You can only listen to your music inside the HOH room. Just one of the rules that we had to follow. Not so much in Celebrity Big Brother. Looks like they've got a little more leeway. So she's enjoying her music while she plays music downstairs. Shanna mentioned something a little bit later, late into the evening. She says, how come she's not upstairs playing solitaire and doing everything up there? She wanted to be where the action was, I suppose. Wanted to be down. Who knows? She may not have the music on. She may just have those headphones on and quietly listening to everyone else. It's not just listening at doors is the only way to eavesdrop. Sometimes you just sit there and be very quiet and listen to people as well. So we've got that. All right, some other conversation. Misha and Shanna, they're really upset with each other because Shanna took away Misha's power with the HOH by using the veto and on. So those two, those have definite friction right now. Todrick and Shanna, not so much. I mean, Todrick acted upset, and he probably was upset, but acted a little upset during their initial conversation right after the veto ceremony. But Todrick at this point is now later in the evening talking to Shanna and telling her, says, look, I need to be developing some other relationships in case Misha goes home. I'd like to be working with you. He says, I've always been loyal to us. And I think he's talking about the Athlete Alliance, of which he and Shayna, at least now, Shayna made a mention at one point saying, I'm now hearing that maybe I'm part of this alliance. I never was really certain, but Todrick's basically trying to make nice with Shayna just in case. Todrick's in a good position because I really think, even though I feel like he's the brains of a lot of what's going on, Miesha being the brawn and winning the competition seems like she's got the bigger target on his back. So Todrick trying to smooth things over with the other side in case Miesha is the target, goes home, that he still has some folks he can rely on. So he's trying to make nice with Shayna a little bit. Shayna comes back later and tells everyone, says, look, what am I supposed to say when he tells me that? But sure, I'd love to work with you. But Shayna's also been upset. She's complained that no one wants to work a deal with her, that she feels like she's alone in the house, that everyone else has a partner, that she's alone. And I've heard a couple of different people say, well, it's because she rides the middle and no one really feels like they can trust her 100% to stay on their side. So sometimes that's a price you pay when you're a little bit of a floater going down the middle. But Todrick is trying to make some new connections just in case. All right, so we've got that. And there was a lot of talk about Chris and Shayna and Carson and Cynthia saying, oh, we've got the power. We've got everyone turned against Miesha and Todrick, and that, yeah, we've lost the battle because we're going to lose either Cynthia or Chris, but we've lost the battle, but we've won the war because now we've got everyone turned against those two. Yeah, I wouldn't be so certain of that just yet. So we've got that. Finally, lights out around 2 o'clock, Big Brother time, plus or minus. Everyone's in bed. Everyone's trying to get rested up because we do have an HOH competition tonight. What kind of comp could it be? Yeah, I don't know. How about a wall comp? That'd be a fun one. I'm not sure what we'll get, but we will find out this evening because we've got a 2-hour live episode, an eviction, an HOH, and we'll see how this all pans out. As we say every week, this is going to be huge. This will be the most important HOH of the entire season. Yeah, this week it very well could be. So tonight's for the eviction. 5 voters, so three votes decide who goes home. It seems like everyone is expecting Chris to go home, and I think that's probably the case. I would certainly expect Todrick to vote to send Chris out the door. Carson's going to vote to send Todrick's going to vote to send Chris out the door. Carson, I would expect to vote to send Chris out the door in order to save Cynthia. And I think Lamar is going to vote along those lines as well. And certainly Todd Bridges, I would expect to vote to send Cynthia out. So he may be the lone vote. Don't know where Shayna will end up, but I think Chris will be going home this evening. So I hate to see it. I thought Chris has played a good game. And maybe something will change, but we're going to lose someone tonight, and I think the chances are it's going to be Chris. And then we'll see who the new HOH is. Guys, y'all have a fantastic Friday. The weekend's getting here. It's going to be great. Y'all have a fantastic Friday. I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll talk a little bit more about what happens with HOH and evictions and everything else. Have a great one, guys. SKD 143. Cheers, my friends.